Everything keeps changing, for better or for worse. Time is our ally, yet it could also be our worst enemy. And with time, we evolved as humans who discover and invent various and wondrous things that eventually make us who we are today, living in this advanced society. This discovery is now what we call technology and has been implemented with our daily lives as it constantly evolves to improve our livelihood. But it can be a blessing and a curse to society and each and every one of us. In this case, technology and time play a part in Iris's life in the story Iris After the Incident, written by Mina V. Esguerra, which we are going to cover for today's podcast. So prepare yourself as I reflect and give my book review on this sensitive yet contemporary topic. At first, I thought that it would be the same old formulaic romance when a girl falls in love with a boy and they live happily ever after, but no. I was in for a wild ride with its sensitive themes, sexual content, and delicate topics that would most likely shock unsuspecting readers. It doesn't just narrate Iris Len-Larioca, our main protagonist's life after her public sex scandal, but it also tackles gender-based violence and its searing impact on a woman's life. Our main protagonist, Iris Len-Larioca, is in a state of limbo, trapped from her past, present, and future. Before her infamous scandal, to me, she was this confident young woman who had her whole life ahead of her. But after the incident, she'd rather hide in the shadows and live her own life away from her traumatic past. Less people means less judgment, to her at least. And during the story, she suffocates with online shaming as well as society disproving her for her actions. What Iris had gone through is not just a made-up conflict for the story to happen. There are people who are experiencing this kind of problem even in this present day, which Mina Esguerra remarkably portrays in the book. Iris, who had a rough 2 years since the incident, now lives a somehow quiet life away from her virality, hoping to start anew. She then meets Gio Mella, a mysterious man with a secret past that lives next door. Curiosity sparks between the two as they kept calling each other nicknames 9J and 9M, which kept their identity secret, to which I find cute and of course, kilig. But behind their aliases hides the truth to who they really are and the past that they long want to forget. Everyone all knows who Iris is, especially those who have watched her viral video, but the thing about Gio was that he was also involved in a threesome scandal that was all captured in pictures for the media to see. It's like fate decided to intertwine two people who had troubled past, meet and get them together for them to understand one another and process their complicated feelings at the same time. As I finished listening to the audiobook version of the novella that was beautifully narrated by Rachel Coates, it felt so short yet concise that I was wanting for more content regarding the lives of Iris and Gio. But their problems were already solved once they figure out how they view themselves, disregarding the comments made by people they know or by society. Despite clearly having a thing for sexual activities, Gio and Iris understood and respected each other and knew what should and shouldn't be done. Their pasts are like parallel lines as the stars aligned for them and they intertwine. You know the saying, birds of the same feather flock together? Well, these two lovebirds deserve the genuine love they give to each other. It wasn't just about sex. It was about trust, security, and acceptance that they flourished and bloomed as human beings. The way Mina Esguerra wrote the characters felt like they were real people to me. It was like a sneak peek into a reality that most people wouldn't bat an eye on. The characters undergo difficult experiences such as the continuous battle between online gender-based violence, how society judges people like book covers, and the role of technology in people's lives. It's scary how technology comes in different shapes and sizes. In this case, mobile gadgets and the internet play a role in enabling gender-based violence that affect Iris and Gio's lives. Iris' scandal was leaked without consent, as well as Gio's infamy, which became a weapon that negatively affected their lives and how they see themselves as a human being. It reminded me of the dangers of the internet, which is also called the interweb, as once that something is posted on the web, nothing can ever get out as it can be downloaded, shared, and interacted by anyone, anywhere, anytime. It blurs the boundaries between what should be private and what is shown in public. As the story progresses, we feel the underlying problems Iris had gone through, such as her inability to find justice to her situation. There is no definite conclusion to her persona in the digital space and accepts the constant reminder that her past seemed to haunt her at any time. This corresponds to the online gender-based violence that we experience until today. This online abuse cannot be deleted with just one tap, just like how trauma cannot be erased in a day. In the digital world and even in real life, accountability is elusive that leaves victims to navigate on their own in a broken system in search of peace. Despite the challenges and hardships our protagonists experienced, it did not stop them to continue their lives outside their respective history. Although Iris' relationship with her friends and family were drastically affected, her career is put to halt and she constantly lives in fear and self-doubt, there is a silver lining to it all. She strives to become a better person by accepting the fact that she cannot live thinking about the past, but it was time to look forward to her future. Iris encounters a supportive community of fellow survivors of gender-based violence and is on the road to heal and discover her worth despite what she had experienced. Through listening to their stories, she understands that she is not alone. This type of inclusion and representation is much needed in media as it evokes an empowering message to those relating to this kind of problems. If I were in Iris' shoes, at first, I would think that my life had been taken away from me from something that I cannot control. I'd be devastated and ashamed of myself that everyone from strangers to my friends and especially my family would see something that should be private and personal. I would wish that I'd never made the mistake that cost me my life. But what is done, and even if I think that there's nothing that I can do to mitigate the rising problem, there is one thing that I can guarantee myself with. I'd rather focus on myself and try to rebuild my life, drawing support from the people that understand my situation and those who are willing to stand by my side. With that, I'm able to draw strength to reach out to fellow survivors and become an advocate for digital privacy, supporting online campaigns regarding digital footprints, and raising awareness on accountability for those who have experienced online gender-based violence. This includes sharing my story as a way to claim my narrative as a victim and to empower others who had gone through experiences like mine. Iris, after the incident, is more than just a romance between two people that share similar pasts. It is a complex story that showcases the hardships of an online gender-based violence victim through the eyes of Iris. It presents the dark side of the cyberspace and the power of technology holds to the one that use it. This book is a call to action to the oppressed and silenced victims of gender-based violence to get back up again, reclaim their lives, and urge everyone to fight for their rights in the digital world and in the real world. To sum it up, I enjoyed this novella as this tackles complex issues that we face in society up until this day. This is not for the faint of heart and viewer discretion is advised for those who want to read the book or listen to its audiobook version. If Iris managed to stand up from her downfall, so can we. And that is it for our book review. That was quite a ride, no? I really suggest reading this book as this is an eye-opener for the dangers of the internet and how it can be used against us. Technology is a powerful thing, and it's best that we understand its purpose and usage in the modern day. If you like the book, please do check out Mina V. Esguerra's other works and support local artists as they promote and raise awareness on different kinds of topics. Due to my fondness of the story, I even drew Iris and Gio from the book the way I imagined them. So, what you've been looking at during the podcast is all done by me. Anyways, I would like to thank everyone for tuning in to my podcast and I hope you enjoyed listening to my thoughts and review about the contemporary and relevant story of Iris after the incident. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts as well, and don't forget to click that notification button to be updated with my latest content. Again, thank you everyone for listening for today's podcast. I am Hilao. See you next time!